All right, Free Radicals, welcome back. I'm Dave, and I am the Radical Independent. Thank you for watching. Please watch the videos if you can. It helps me. It's an easy, simple thing to do. People have a lot of free time right now, so I'm not going to give you wall-to-wall coverage on the news that everyone else is bringing you right now, which is becoming... Quite honestly, it's becoming very depressing, and people kind of make fun of the fact that people are saying that, of course, if you go out, you're going to be subject to the risk of the virus. If you stay inside, there are a lot of folks who suffer from depression. Domestic violence is going up, so there are a lot of secondary issues here. This is something that we're not going to cope with very well. Article here, can Trump cancel the November election? This is from Vox, which is kind of a neoliberal sort of publication. It's weird that the neoliberals and people in general are worried about Trump canceling the election. You know why they're worried? Because it's Donald Trump. And I'm not here to defend Trump. I don't think it's safe to have an election at this point. It's not. It's not safe to have primaries. And it's certainly, we'll see what it's like in November, but they say a second round of this is very possible as it starts to ramp up again. And that would be right around the time. And there's probably not going to be a vaccine available. I mean, there might be some treatments. We can hope and pray and so forth, but we don't know. The Vox article here, let me just dip into this a little bit. Earlier this week, Ohio's Director of Health, Dr. Amy Acton, delayed that state's primary election, which was originally scheduled for Tuesday. Now, this goes way back to the last mini Super Tuesday. She did so with the blessing of Republican Governor Mike DeWine and the state Supreme Court. As a matter of law, this decision to delay the election is defensible, and there is no evidence that Acton or DeWine acted in bad faith. Their efforts to postpone the election appear to be motivated by a genuine desire to slow the spread of the pandemic. But this delay of a state primary election understandably triggered fears that other officials, potentially even President Trump, might take advantage of the Ohio precedent to postpone or cancel November's election if it appears that Trump is likely to be defeated. There's no way to know until you've got Joe Biden against Donald Trump. They're putting up the weakest candidate they can possibly put up against Trump. If anything, if I'm Trump, I'm thinking, yeah, let's game on. So you're going to have arguments from both sides, people saying we should cancel the election. Mostly Democrats, I think. They're going to come out of the woodwork. They're not doing it yet because they're afraid, well, if you cancel the election, then Trump retains power. He's going to be in there until they have an election. Well, whoop-de-doo, we have a little pandemic going on. And this is why I want another political party. I need, Movement for a People's Party, Green Party, Libertarian, anybody to get in the way of this madness, this two-party, and all of this stuff that happened before this stimulus got approved was all a bunch of grandstanding. Even Bernie Sanders was out there grandstanding, and yet he voted for it. Same thing with AOC. They all are just typical politicians, all angling for their little niche of supporters. And anyway, do I think the election should be canceled? I do. As of today, I do, right? I mean, things could change, and hopefully they'll change for the better, and people will be healthy, and they'll be able to go out and vote. First of all, if you're going to conduct the election, everybody needs to get a paper ballot who wants one. And I'm thinking anybody who wants to vote, the registration online should be made as easy as possible. Send me my ballot. Send them, a week or two before the actual day of the election. And then everybody gets to mail them in. And at that point, on the day where they're supposed to hold the election, which would be November 2nd, count all the ballots and then determine who is the president. And this way you don't have any human contact at all, and you get probably a better turnout, because you're not going to get voter suppression. Because if anybody can vote, you won't get voter suppression. And I think that solves a lot of problems. You don't get lines. You don't get all of the crazy stuff that happens at polling places. But right now, as it stands, yeah, I think all of these primaries need to be canceled. It's unless, again, they redo the system, recalibrate the system, where everybody is going to be required to vote by paper ballot from home. And the ballots need to get mailed out with, a number, like a good number of days prior to the actual vote. So that's my take on it. That's the only way to do it. Because you're going to have both sides fighting about this. The Trump people are going to say it's not safe, and immediately all of the Democrats and people who are just resistance-oriented, like, no, he can't continue to rule in a crisis. This is the worst of all things, and we need to get him out of there. So you're going to send people out in unsafe conditions to vote? I mean, that's how badly you want to just get this guy out of office. I want him out of office too, but I want someone to take his place who has issues and policies that will help the American people. Somebody who can speak English without, butchering a teleprompter. Somebody who can tweet out complete sentences. And on the other side, I want somebody who's coherent enough to get through a sentence. So you can see how this is just a nightmare, and this is why I'm 100% for a Green Party candidate. I'm 100. Where's Jesse Ventura? Is he coming back from Mexico? Because I want him to come back. Because we don't have a lot of hope right now. Maybe Jesse could give a speech and say, hey, I'm running for president. I'm going to give us some hope, something to vote for instead of voting against. You know what I'm saying? All right, folks, I'm done. Also, don't forget to check out Dario Hunter. He's a Green Party candidate. I know. For some reason, people are just like, even though it's the entire Bernie platform on steroids. It's the entire Bernie and a little bit of Tulsi, but it's their entire platform on steroids. But yet, they have no chance to win. I don't like them. Whatever the reason is. The other guy, yeah, I know. He's a Russiagator. But Dario Hunter is not. He's not. And I think people need to check him out. And I'll keep talking about him. I know people aren't watching these videos as much. And I built my whole channel around one concept. And that was pretty risky, wasn't it? So here I am. Anyway, thanks for watching. And we'll talk soon.